Hallo und herzlich willkommen da draußen. My name is Martina, this is Vivesco Active Living, and today I'm going to take you through a hip mobility strengthening stretching routine based on Shaolin Monks. This routine is actually stolen from another YouTube channel called Flex and Strong. They're two movement trainers from Germany that I follow, and they do a lot of education in the movement realm with a lot of different people. So it's not just that I trust what they're doing has some merit, it also makes sense to me. So I do watch stuff of theirs, and some things I know like they're not applicable to us or what I do, or for my clients for that matter, but some things I look at them, I watch them, and they just make sense to me. So I'm pretty much just copying their routine. I will tag them in the description box as well, obviously not to take credit for it, and yeah, so I'm just pretty much copying them bit for bit, but also having my own martial arts background, and I've been trialing this for quite a while now as well, and definitely have felt improvement in my mobility and my range of movement and my strength. So therefore this gets a big thumbs up from me. It's a pretty big routine, so if you're doing the whole lot, which I'm showing you today, will take anywhere, depending on how quick you're moving through it, 10 to 20 minutes. If you're doing the 3 rounds, once you're really advanced, it'll take even longer. So it's not something I personally would do on a daily basis, and I don't do it on a daily basis, but I do incorporate it into my training, and I have kind of come up with a slight modification of this long routine, which I will produce a video on as well. It takes about 2 minutes to do the modified version, and it is part of our warm-up on the workouts that I'm popping up, and that you can follow me through. So long version, if you are having particular hip issues or wanting to improve your range, your mobility, your strength, then go for the whole one. I've found, however, that the modified version helps a lot as well. So if you're not having particular issues, that might be enough for you to incorporate on almost a daily basis, or every time you go into a workout. So let's get started. Okay, so the whole routine can be split into 6 moves, and I will do it in one video, but you can obviously pause it. I might even, again in the description, put down which move is coming at what time. Okay, so we're starting with our standing leg and anchoring our big toe down nice and solid. We want to have a straight leg to possibly just slightly bend leg, but not like a full-on unlock. So just a very tiny unlock here, or even straight if you can manage your balance. Upper body, we want to have ideally our arms out and shoulders down and relaxed. Retract and protract. So stuff your shoulder blade into your back pocket. This will go onto your shoulders as well. So if it's too much for the upper body, you can let the arms fall down. You can also use a wall to help with balance. But ideally we want to try and just be in this out position here. This kind of helps us to stay a bit more stable through the upper body and have more control and feel what's happening up through the upper part, so that we can do our best to really just work through our hip joint. So the first move is one leg at a time, obviously, going straight forward and straight back down. We're starting with an active lift, followed by an active lift and active pull down. So what you're going to do is 10 times, take your leg up as high as you can. If you're only down here, that's fine. If this is too much, whatever works for you. So you want to go into the range that you can hold, and then increase that range a little bit more. So lift, 2, 1, and relax. Lift, 2, 1, relax. Lift, 2, 1, relax. You're going 10 times. 2, 1, relax. Lift, 2, 1, relax, and so forth. This will hurt through your rectus femoris. So don't, or even possible hip flexors can start to fire up quite tight as well, because you're in your end range and then you're working it even more. So this is working really hard, active lift. As I said, once you've done your 10, if you want to give it a rest, do the other side. Same here, anchor your standing leg down, good connection heel to toes, going into your end range. You may find you've got quite a difference between left and right. Into your end range, 1, 2, 3, relax. 1, 2, 3, relax. 1, 2, 3, relax. 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So 1, 2, 3 seconds, 10 times, both legs, active lift. We follow this through with your active uplift and pull down. The pull down here is more important than the lift. We're going for ideally 18 repetitions. If it is too much, however, drop it down. 18 is what we're aiming for, and we're also aiming for 3 rounds of this whole routine further down the track. I don't expect you to do this straight at the beginning, even though I actually advise you possibly not to do that straight at the beginning, because it will be too much. Okay, we don't want to overwork our system. But if you've got a bit of body feel, which if you've followed me and have been working with me, you will, so you know what to do. So just to demonstrate that lift and pull down, just get out of the way, that little one. Thank you. So for this, you want to be really stable on your standing leg. So if you need to hold on to somewhere. You want to come a little bit from behind here. You want to lift and pull down. Lift, pull down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale on the pull down. Exhaling on the pull down, having that strong short exhale will help with your balance, so you're not wobbling all over the place as you're pulling back down. That short strong exhale will actually help you to activate those really small intrinsic muscles that you can't control consciously, but they will help you to balance yourself. All right, so obviously doing the right as well as the left side. Just for comparison here, again, you've got that lift and pull down. Upper body is nice and stable. From a side view, we want to keep this nice and tall throughout the movement. So we're only moving through that hip. We don't want to go into a forward bend as we go through that lift motion. Yeah, keep it nice and straight. You don't want to cheat on the movement range. Really just moving and working with what you've got available. Cool. So that's the first move. On we're moving to number 2. Right, so number 2 is very similar to number 1. We're going out onto about a 45-degree angle if you're working with a clock system, about 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. On the original video, they've kind of left their foot, toes pointing up, toes pointing towards you as well. Didn't mention that on the first one, so try a bit of tension on that leg. I prefer to actually take my toes a bit more relaxed on this one here, but rotate my leg out. So I'm not just opening my hip and still working through rec fem on a slightly different angle. I am actually keeping my hip where it is, but opening the leg or internally rotating my leg. So I'm targeting the hip stabilizers in a sense a little bit more, and that external, the abductors a little bit more, but on an angular, on a 45 degree. So I'm not fully on rotated in here, I'm not going on a 90 degree, it's again like 45 degrees. So you've got your leg on 45 and you've got your foot on 45. Same as before, you want to go into your end range, which is a little bit lower than on my front. So you want to go into end range here, lift, 2, 3, hold, lift, 2, 3, hold, lift, 2, 3, and I'm falling a little bit over here, so it shows me I'm going a little bit too high at this point in time. 1, 2, 3, relax. 1, 2, 3, relax. So it's the same as before. We want to try and keep this nice and upright, nice and steady, and only working with the range that we have. Giving that leg a rest. You can go straight into your dynamic move there as well, but I personally think it's a bit better just to let this settle in again a little bit. Same on the left, 45-degree, 10 o'clock, toes, ankle rotated on 45 as well. Lift, 2, 3, relax. Lift, 2, 3, relax. Lift, 2, 3, relax. And again, we're going 10 times, 3 seconds at a time. For the active lift and pull down, you want to put yourself into starting position of like a courtesy lunge type. Again, that'll help you with your balance. Other than that, same as before, arms out if we can. If the shoulders get tired, pull them down, but ideally at some point we want to keep the arms up for the whole routine. We're going again up to 18 reps. You've got your lift on that 45 angle and you pull down. Exhale on the pull down. For those, I'm keeping the toes pointing up or pointing back towards me, but I'm still trying to have the blade of the foot more so going towards the ceiling, 45-degree. Same on the other side. Once you've done anywhere up to 18 reps, as many as you can manage. Exhale will help with your balance. And that's move 2. For move number 3, you will need a wall behind you. So I'm going to change my camera angle and see you in a sec. So for move number 3, as I said, you will need a wall behind you. You'll be ending up in a kind of elevated downward dog position. Hence, for the warm-up routine, I have, as I said, changed a few things because it's, just a bit much sometimes, but if you're doing the full routine, this is really good to do. So your stabilizing leg, I'm going to use my leg that's away from the camera so you can see better. Ideally wants to be with the heel against the wall and flat down. If you're having issues here to get where you need to be in the next position, you can move away from the wall, which will make it easier, and you can also bend your knee to take some pressure away. So I will see how I go today. From here, we're now going to take our hands down, and the other leg, for me my left leg now, comes up against the wall, rotated inwards. So we don't want to be out here, we want to try and get the hip moving down towards the floor. And I can feel quite a bit of tension from my right leg. So I'm going to just slightly have my knee bent. And we want to push out of our shoulders here as well. So when you're in that position, biggest range of in your hip. We're going to go again for 10 times 3-second lifts. 1, 2, 3, relax. 1, 2, 3, relax. And so forth. Bit of pressure on the hands and stuff, but yeah, see how you go with this. As I said, if for the beginning you need to change your form completely here, what you can also do is actually bring it onto your knee and open your hip up that way. So this might be a little bit easier on the shoulders as well. Still getting a good range through your hip here this way. And we're still working that left leg. Lift, 2, 3, relax. Lift, 2, 3, relax. Lift, 2, 3, relax. As you can see, the lift is never a big movement because I'm already in my end range and I'm just increasing it a little bit more. So adjust yourself as you need to. Ideally, we want to have the leg long, so we're getting the whole system to engage and stretch. Being on the knee, we're isolating this even more now, or focusing on that even more now without having a counter stretch on that side at the same time. And obviously we're doing the other side as well, so I'm just going to change quickly and do a couple, so I'm even out. So heel on the wall, foot flat, knee slightly bent for me here as well. 1, 2, 3, and that pulls heavily on my left calf, so I'm going to bring that forward a bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Whew. Very tough, this one. The hardest bit is to really keep the hips locked forward. As you lift your leg, you will feel your hip want to move out and open up to get more range. So try your best to keep this going down towards the floor. Nice and straightforward. For your active pull and lift and pull, you're in a downward dog position now, away from the wall. You need the space. So bring yourself down into this position. If you need to have your heel up, more than happy for you to do so. Adjust as much as you need to. And then from here, you're going into your lift and your pull down. And same on the other side, you're aiming up to 18 reps. Actively lift, pull down. Try and bring it as far over your hip, over towards your head. Now, the active pull down on this one is not quite as harsh as active, because you're getting stopped straight down from the floor. You will feel a bit of, so you want to kind of have a bit of a softer landing on this one, otherwise you're going to jar through your knee, particularly if you're having your leg fully straight, what you're supposed to do. So, but theoretically you should be adjusting automatically with how actively you're pulling that down and stomping the floor. That's move number 3. So we got 3 to go. The next 2 don't have an active lift. So let's get into it. All right, move 4 and 5. I'm going to combine these 2 because they don't take as long. They're an internal and an external rotation. So we're going to start with the external rotation of my right leg. For that one, it's just starting in a neutral stance. Hands are out to the side. Have your palms facing forward, and you'll see in a second why I'm doing this. You want to keep your hands just in your peripheral vision. So don't bring them forward so you can actually see them quite well. Have just a bit of a hint of an idea where your hands are. So I can just kind of see my thumbs moving, having them out to the side here. Bringing your leg in and up, out and down. In and up, out and down. In and up and down. Now, depending on your range, you might be able to get to your hand without moving that hand out of place. So even if you can't quite get there, have it as an aiming point of where you want to go. Yeah? Again, aiming for 18 reps, changing sides. We're going in to external rotation, still exhaling on the pull down. Find the finishing spot. And I can't quite get to my hand on this one, but you know, it's all about working away, continuously working on those, getting better and better every day than you were the day before. So that's move 4, external rotation. Move 5, we're going internal rotation. Same setup, starting again on my right leg, palms still facing forward, having those aiming points. This time I'm coming from a little bit further apart, so I'm getting a nice wide lift, coming into my internal rotation and landing out here. Yeah, so we've got to reset. And as you can see, I'm trying to aim for my left hand, but not quite getting there. So a bit of a fun challenge for yourself as well. Up to 18 reps, and then doing the other side as well. Left leg out, around and down. Try and stay relaxed through the shoulders. I just realized it was really tight up here because I was concentrating, trying to aim for my hand, and got the shoulders all tensed up. You get the hang of it. Cool. One more to go through, and that's then the whole routine. For the last move, you're going to be on your hands and knees, and I'll be showing this 45-degree on so you can hopefully see best what's going to happen. Hands on your shoulders, knees on your hips. The one leg, one foot needs to come out. We're locking our knee out. Foot is in line with the opposite knee. So if I drag that in, I'm right on my knee now. Putting that back out, nice and long. Edge of the foot, blade of the foot wants to pull down towards the floor. Big toe anchors in, so we've got a good connection here. Now from here, again, make sure the other knee is straight under your hips. We're going to lift this leg up just a little bit off the floor, and you're going to find you're not even going to be able to lift it higher as such. Tiny movement. Try and hold it for 3 seconds, 10 times. 1, 2, 3, relax. 1, 2, 3, relax. 1, 2, 3, relax. 1, 2, 3, relax. And so forth. A lot of force going through your right hand at this point. That's the left, or the leg you're lifting. So obviously a lot of body weight's going onto that right hand. We're doing the other side as well. Just doing a few quick ones here to even things out. 1, 2, 3, relax. Again, trying to keep the hips nice and steady. Don't rotate open or sink down into your arms here. Keep your elbows locked, just lifting the leg. The opposite hand here should almost be coming off the floor. All your weight is on your knee and on the one hand of the lifting leg. Okay? Alright, so 10 rounds, 3-second lifts. From here, we're now going back into all fours. This time the knee stays on the floor, and we're just going to lift and pull down. Lift. Again, focusing on the opposite hip to keep that nice and stable. So they're somewhat similar to clamshells, but a bit more active, using the whole system a bit more rather than isolating. Okay, so same as with those lifts as before, don't try and increase your range by adjusting your body position. Keep everything nice and steady and just work through and with the range that you have available. So that's it. That's the whole routine. As I said, if you are actually going through the full 10 reps, 18 reps times 3, this will take quite a while. So I would only do this twice a week maybe, if you can throw that in somewhere into your routine. If you got somewhat healthy hips that move well, the 2-minute routine that I've created out of all this is probably still sufficient to just add that little bit of edge to your workout and to your hip movement, stability and mobility. So if you've got any questions, as usual, just drop me a comment. Everything is linked, as said, Strong and Flex are linked in this. Thank you for the inspiration, or not so much inspiration, but thank you for putting this one up. I really enjoyed this little routine myself, and Times are broken down in the description box as well. So yeah, in diesem Sinne, tschö und bis demnächst. The exhale helps the small intrinsic balance core muscles that you can't control ever to actually tighten up and help you to stabilize. You just did a little humpy hump, didn't you?